And a reminder, the next like 4 or 5 minutes, what's going to happen is people are going to start to roll into our meeting. And as they pop in, I'll just go ahead and let them in from the meeting room or the waiting room. But the only name that I don't really recognize from one of our previous sessions is Rushil. So Rushil, welcome. We've got Sienna and Gianna here. Renee is in the house. Amelia, I'm so excited to see you back. Quite frankly, you all, and with Matt, I see you there, Rod. I'm getting you, homie. Most of the folks that have been here have been really interactive. So I'm going to keep that rolling for you to make sure you get plenty of return on your time investment today. So some of the best practices I recommend, well, at any given point, I can mute you. I can also turn your video on or off, or if something isn't going well, maybe in the background of your video, I can send you in the waiting room and then bring you back in. So there's a reminder for that. Most of what we have set up for today is going to look best in the speaker view, which if you move your mouse around a little bit, you can see in the upper corner, there's a little button that allows you to select that speaker view. So I'll go ahead and kick into that when we get into our performance sections. And today we are here to discuss wellness through connection. And we brought along Nicholas William Harris. Nick, give us a little wave and a howdy.
What's up?
And then we also have with us the incredible J. Ross Pirelli. J. Ross, give us a wave. So we're going to go ahead and let these two kick us off with some entertainment here in a couple of minutes. I normally don't start that until a little after, maybe like 4:05 or 4:10. So until now, get yourself set up, get a nice cold beverage, some water, or a snack ready, and make sure that your audio is dialed in because you're going to want to hear these two and what they have put together for us. While we're doing that, make sure your chat is pulled up. And why don't we go ahead and start to get our roll call over there. I'm going to put my name and then where I'm at, and let's all do the same so we have our chat up and rolling. All right, Shelly, you're in Auburn. Good to see your face again, Shelly. Hello, hello. Jonna, you're in Roseville. That's right. Renee's in Auburn. Serenity, you're in Newcastle. Sienna, you're probably not that far from your sister. That makes sense. Oh, that's right. Caitlin from Citrus Heights. Cool. Yeah, we're really a NorCal endeavor here, aren't we? Cool. Let Amelia in. Christina, you're in Rockland. All right. Very, very cool. Kevin, you're in Auburn. Good to see you again, Kevin. Hello, hello. There he is. There he is.
That's what's up.
All right. Looks like we're getting everybody shouted out over here on the side. Sweet. Next level of introduction and to manage your expectations. We're going to go ahead and kick off our programming in just a couple of seconds. That goes until about 5 o'clock. And then what's neat is like after 5 o'clock from 5 to 5:30 or 5 until whenever anybody wants to hang around, I get to get out of the way and let you all interact directly with Nick Harris and with J. Ross. So with that being said, Shelly, is there anything that you would like to announce from the Raising Placer group that you think we should all hear before we get going?
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited to hear. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Nick. Hi, everybody. I'm excited for this session. I'm excited to see some repeat people coming back, and just hope as people join, they'll pop in chat, like you said, and introduce themselves. And yeah, this series has just been an incredible way to stay connected in this time when we're socially disconnected. And that was the goal of this, and it's been sweet. Hey, Diego, it's been sweet to be able to just have this connection, and that's it for me. Yeah, I'm excited to hear from everybody else.
All right, thank you very much, Shelley. Well, let's go ahead and kick it to Nick Harris first. Nick, why don't you give us a little introduction about yourself? Tell us why you're excited to be here, and if you miss anything out, I'll pick it up for you.
Thanks, God. Amy, you always coming back. What's up, everybody? I'm Nick Harris. I'm originally from Northern California, but I live in Portland now. My band, we all relocated up here. I'm a musician. I'm a drummer. I'm an entrepreneur. I like to consider myself a dream chaser. You know, I'm chasing my dreams and my goals, and I do it all soberly. It wasn't always that way, but now that I have made the change, my life is much more fulfilling, and I've been presented with opportunities like this due to sobriety to be here with you guys, and I'm extremely grateful for it and to share with you my experiences.
Nick, you passed over it relatively quickly. I don't know many rock stars that are sober, so I'm looking forward to hearing more about that challenge and how you've surpassed it.
Absolutely.
All right, let's see. J. Ross, unmute yourself. Give us a little introduction, a little 411 on all the great things that you've got going on.
Rad. Well, yeah, I think I know a lot of you. It's really good to see your faces right now and come together. I am, what am I doing? I'm making music every day. I'm a foodie and a traveler, and I realized the only way I could eat really good food and travel all over the world was to like be a musician. So, you know, I grew up in Auburn. I love Auburn, super small town, and it got so small that I eventually had to move down to LA. And in LA, I spent 10 years of my life. I got my college degree, and I started battling, like MC 8 Mile Eminem, battling people to pay my bills because I was so broke and hungry and I didn't know what else to do. And I loved words and music so much. So that actually led me to get picked up by a group in New Jersey called Refugee Camp, which is like Wyclef and Lauryn Hill. This may be, I may be dating myself right now. Like, you may not know who Lauryn Hill is, but I think you should look up Lauryn Hill, Riley. She is so dope. So they ended up asking me to come to New Jersey. So I went from the West Coast all the way to the East Coast and spent 5 years out in New York, like the best and hardest and craziest 5 years of my life. Now I'm back in Auburn and have realized that music is just everything I am, but teaching is where I need to be. So I'm coming back to Auburn to kind of switch up our educational system really quick, shake it up a little bit, and then I'll go travel again.
All right, Jay Ross. Well, I know we've got you here today under the pretense of art. I think that both she and Nick don't give themselves enough credit for their art, in that they're musicians by trade, but their art is how they interact with the world and how they pass their gifts on. So let's see what these gifts are. Jay Ross, I'm going to kick it off with a little bit of live flow that you sent us. Can you give us an introduction to this? Like, what are we about to see?
I don't know.
It's the one you sent me about greatness.
Greatness. Okay. Oh, actually, this is so great because, no pun intended. I think some of you were we had an Earth Day festival in Auburn. I think it was 2 years ago, this Earth Day festival. And I have to be honest, like, I was really feeling myself in this moment and I was getting it in. And all of a sudden I stepped backwards and tripped over a speaker. Did any of you see that? Were you there, or did I totally just wrap myself out? Dang! So I ate it, like, and I pulled it off. Don't get me wrong. Like, I pushed my skirt down, jumped back up, and started rapping again, and just rapping about it because it was that embarrassing. I came home and literally wrote this track, and the chorus says, greatness is coming. I keep on falling, tripping on patience. Pick yourself up, your time is calling. They cannot take this. you are the greatness. And so I really in that moment had to like let myself know like it's okay to trip and it's okay to fall down and it's okay to get back up. And this was kind of like a little bit of my ego coming out on this track, but it really, really was a healing moment for me in closure of tripping on stage.
All right, well, without a further ado, let's see what J. Ross has here. And just to remind you all, if you've got your notebooks ready so you can write some of these lyrics down, or if you catch a feeling or a sensation that you want to document and share with us, we'd appreciate that as well. Really kicks the engagement up. So here is Greatness by J. Ross. Let's see, did it pop up or did I mess something up? All right, hold on there, party people. Well, that didn't go as smoothly as I thought it was going to. 1 second. All right, let me try this again. Without further ado, J. Ross. Can you see it, everybody? Nod your head if you can see it. Like a blank back.
This is the one right
We
here.
really doing it.
J. Ross Forever, the one. Greatness.
We're gonna leave you with this right here. Thank you so much for partying with us and having a good time. We appreciate you. J. Ross Pirelli, little dynamite right here with all that greatness. Greatness is coming, I keep on falling, tripping on patience. Pick yourself up, your time is coming, they cannot take this. I am the greatness, we are the greatest, we are the greatest. I am the oxygen, the synthesis, now breathe again, believe again, the freedom's in your vitamin, your last spent, we spent the cent, past 7%, I dread this in my perspective, think that's match with, post for a kick, got the biggest bounce, so don't be, I'm a skeptic, feel it in my tick, text it, no time for talk, don't fill my head with all those sides, the box, not the hands, yes I can, and best believe I will, I'm going on, and we're first again, I'm the wind, blow me, or hold me down, step out the way, you hold my ground, so free, there's no up, down, we light it up with the get down. Light it on the hoop, light it on the hoop, light it on the hoop now. Light it on the hoop, light it on the hoop, light it on the hoop. With all that greatness, greatness is coming. I keep on falling, tripping on patience. Pick yourself up, your time is coming. They cannot take this. I am the greatness. We are the greatest. We are the greatest. I'm in rules with the money. I build schools with the money. I break fools with it, dunny. Make the moon feel sunny. I'm so hot, that's top shot. They can't stop. Like fire pop. I'm Betty Crocker, always proper. Never prouder. I'm Maserati. Harry Potter meets the Parkers, Mr. Parker and Frank Sinatra. Part of my private, I'll wear it deep rooted in their sign. I'm so fly, fire me up, don't watch me go. Don't always trust what you think you know. Time holds you captive, you got a long way to go. Victory lap, and we on the night. Oh, light it on up, light it on up. Light it on up now. Light it on up, light it on up, light it on up now. Light it on up, light it on up, light it on up now. Light it on up now. Light it on up with all that greatness. Greatness is calling, I keep on falling, tripping on patience. Pick yourself up, your time is calling, they cannot take this. I am the greatness. We are the greatest. We are the greatest.
There we go, everybody. Let's give to J. Ross that virtual love, virtual love.
Hey.
All right, so this is that weird and awesome part where, I mean, in person, J. Ross, we'd be just losing our minds, so excited to support you, live. But there's this weird vacuum in the Zoom where it's like, okay, that was awesome. What do we do now?
Right, I feel you.
So I wanted to call that out and just let you know that, we're over here bobbing our heads. Hey, greatness is calling, and you are the greatness. Tell us more about that.
Well, it's an everyday slogan that I have to use coming from such a negative mind state. And let me tell you what I mean is that naturally it's easy for us to come out and say, man, this sucks. I suck. I did so bad. Or I'm fat, or I ate too much, or I did too much, or I'm, we get so focused on what the negative factors that it was such a conditioning for me to actually tell myself I'm the greatness and then believe it. And it was a step-by-step process of waking up every day and not saying, man, today sucks, but rather saying, okay, today's great. I'm going to do good. Everything's amazing. And it's to the point now where my 3-year-old son, when he wakes up, I'm so pissed. It's like 7 a.m. I'm so tired. I've been up since 4. And he's like, oh, it's a wonderful day today, Mom. And I'm like, yeah. So it's so much. I mean, I have to believe it so much that my child believes it. So it's really, really focusing on being that greatness and the essence of what that is and what that means and defining it for yourself. You can't define that for me. I have to define that for myself. So, that's where the greatness came from. And that's the breakdown in the lyrics. I am the oxygen, the synthesis, believe again, breathe again. It's breath. That is what I am. So, yeah.
I'll tell you what, J. Ross, I don't know if you can see any of the other participants here, but if you know someone and you'd like to hear a little bit about their feelings, you can go ahead and call on somebody if you'd like to engage with them, or you can raise your hand if you'd like to, and we can hear a little bit about what your feelings are on J. Ross's jam. So let's see here. Hands raised. Okay, nobody raised their hand. Let's see here. Something else that always ends up happening while we're doing this, J. Ross, is I don't know if you can see over in the chat, but there are a bunch of people sending you love right now.
Yes. Yeah. No, I feel it for sure. And Kevin, tell me, I think I knew that for some reason that you coached Dylan. I feel like I knew that. But she's one of the little mentees that we've been working with. And for any of you that are interested in making music and you are out here, I've been working with Dylan since she was, 15. She's 20 something now. And she was living at my house we were in the studio every single day building and making music. So it's definitely our lifestyle. If y'all want to join. Yes, come Riley.
Hi, I'm Riley. You guys right now, but that song is just like a good message in it. Like it's like you come from like a mindset where you're just like, oh, okay, everything is like, oh God, what the heck? Like it's just down in the dumps, and you feel that way for a long time, and you have to bring yourself up. And that's how that song reminded me of, like how it's hard to bring yourself up, but you can do it.
You gave me goosebumps all over my body right now, because like, you know what I mean? Everybody on here knows what it feels like to be so down, and you have to bring yourself. Nobody is going to bring yourself back up the way you are. So I really respect that. I love that, Riley.
Thank you.
Yeah, damn girl. I brought a special guest.
What's up? How you guys doing? Oh, good to see you guys.
Who is this human? Get his face closer to the camera.
Is my roomie, but also he is the alcohol counselor for Tell Us.
Granite Wellness. What's up, Kevin? What's up, Serenity? I'm sure Renee's on there. What's up, people? Scott. Say hi real quick and wave. So I couldn't be there, so I'm here. So anyway, see you guys later.
Check on Khalil.
I did.
Okay. Special guests be popping in here all the time.
That does give it like you're in the studio. I've never been in the studio before, but people dropping by and kind of catching some of your vibes.
Definitely that life.
Well, you know what, J. Ross, one thing I was hoping to kick off here is you make it look so effortless. What amount of work did you have to do in order to it just like comes out of you? Like, talk to us about that a little bit.
Yeah, just comes out. I wish it was so that easy that it just came out. But, a lot of you we train. Like Nick knows this. Every time I'm talking to Nick, he's like, "Oh, I'm practicing. I'm on my drums. I'm at the studio. I got to practice. I got to do this." Like, it's the 10,000 hour rule, and we know that. We just have to have the discipline to follow through. So, I get up, I run, my breath control. If I want to be a singer, I got to focus on what's going to make me the best. Breath control. So I need to be able to rap the hardest, the longest, the fastest without taking a breath. I have to be able to sing notes, the longest, the hardest, the highest, the lowest, without taking breaths. So my breath control has to be on point. So every day I get up and I run, or I'm working out, or I'm yoga, or I'm like something that's going to make my body better. Then I also focus on beat counting. And Nick probably does this too, where like I get up and you find a beat, and y'all can do this with me, and we just say 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you're counting beats all the way up to 1 is a 1 is a 2 is a 2 is a 3 is a 3 is a 4 is a 4 is a 1 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 3 and a 3 and a 4 and a 4 and a. So you're training. I have to train my mouth to be as fast as my tongue, so I get my beat counting. But then I also have to have clarity, right? So I'm doing tongue twisters. And Diego, I'm sure you know this tongue twister. Do this tongue twister with me. I'll say unique New York. Unique New York. New York unique. Irish wristwatch. Now say toy boat, toy boat, toy boat, toy boat. Not toy butt, toy boat. Toy boat, right? So you have to train. You have to train. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather.
Red leather, yellow leather.
Right? We have to train. It is so hard. It's so hard, and we got it down to like red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, yellow leather, red leather. And to be able to pronunciate that fast, it's all training. I didn't wake up. I wasn't able to just do that. When I woke up one day, I had to train. I write every day. I want to be a writer. I got to write every day. I want to be a singer. I have to sing every day. I want to rap. I have to rap every day. And if these are 3 things I want to be, I have to do all 3 of them every single day.
Hey, J. Ross, at what age did you start really practicing, like going to the next level of learning the tongue twisters and getting your practice routine down? How old were you?
I wish I could say I was like 5 or 6 or 10 or 12 or even 16, but I didn't get this down until I was 20. And I was a super closet karaoke junkie, like in my room singing Carrie, Whitney Houston, what's love got to do with it? Tina Turner, you know what I mean? Like I was getting down, but I was never doing it in public. So I was always singing all my life. Right, Riley? And by the time I was 20, I finally like allowed myself to just be scared and be okay with being scared in that moment. And once I did that, again, if you have to go through it, you have to experience it, find ways to breathe through it, close your eyes if you have to, and then that was it. 20 years old, it was done. Every day it was like an addiction. Best addiction I've ever had in my life.
All right. Well, thank you so much for giving us that. I think as far as sound or the way sound hits my ears, J. Ross, that's powerful, and yet it's soft. It's easy to digest. And on the other end of that spectrum, there's loud crashing sounds that, when practiced carefully, can really end up, putting together something pretty neat. So Nick Harris, I don't know if you felt that segue, but go ahead and unmute yourself, Nick, and let's talk a little bit about being a drummer, being the foundation for what J. Ross builds on top of. So tell me, when did you get into drums?
Well, I started drumming and I was 15 years old when I actually bought my first kit, and I didn't even know like what to do. I just knew I could do it. And then like my first time the first day I had a drum set, I had a band practice with my best friends and we started a band, and that was like how it started. I was in bands all through high school or whatever, and then college the same way, but then I moved to Chico when I was 22 to start a band. And that's when it really started. And that's when I really started putting time in. And that band disbanded over years, for like 5 or 6 years. And then I started a band with my best friend, Scott's also mutual best friend, Cale Hunter. And we started a band called Arms for Apocalypse, which is the band we're in now. And that was the first time we ever had like any kind of real success. You know, we actually like signed record deals and like did legit tours. And got to see a little bit of the world from behind a drum kit, and it was kind of mind blowing, you know.
Don't
But
breeze over that, Nick. What do you mean, see a little bit of the world? Like, tell us. You didn't see a little bit of the world, bro.
I've been blessed to get to play, get to see a lot of the world from behind my drum kit. I got to go. I've toured in Europe, and we've toured all over the U.S., Canada. I think the furthest away I think I've ever played a drum set is in Finland. We played a big festival there with some of our favorite bands like Bloodbath and Crowbar. Just bands you might not have ever heard of, but yeah, I mean, these were some of the most like powerful moments of my life, and to be able to be there, the only reason I was there was to play drums with my best friends, and that is like, I can't express to you how like grateful I am for those moments. And some of these shows were really big, and just the experience of playing in front of, I don't even know how many people, is just, it's pretty incredible and it's inspiring. But you know, in all honesty, I wasn't really in it then. I didn't really get into it and like dive deep into really what I really wanted in my life and out of my life until I eliminated. For me, it was smoking pot and drinking. And then when I made this distinction between what was really important to me and what was like surface, and what I mean by that was, on the surface, I was this person that was like a rock star, or whatever you want to call it. Like I would act that way. I would carry myself in a certain way. And I had read these books and watched these movies with people like Tommy Lee and all these great rock stars that were doing these great things. And that's how I was supposed to be. So I thought I had to be. But when I became sober, I realized what I was doing was like a facade. That yes, our band was successful. We had some sort of success, but I did just enough work as a player and even as a human to like do it. You know, like I practiced just enough so we could practice and play the shows well enough. You know, like I did just enough. Like I would barely show up. And then when I changed my lifestyle, I learned that I had been cheating myself and all the people that are around me, because I wasn't giving it my all, and I wasn't putting forth the real hours. And like now, Scott and I talk about this all the time. And actually, before this Zoom meeting happened, like Scott and I were the only ones on the line, and we were talking about the work. And like we say this a lot. It's like putting in the work. And what I mean by that is like right now, today was the first day of my life that I've ever said, and like said it and mean it, but like I'm a musician. Like I just this week learned how to sing and play guitar and like have the confidence to do it. But it's not because I just could do it. It's just like, wait, I'm going to play guitar every single day until I can play and sing. And I've only missed one day since January 1st, and whatever month we're in now. It's like, it's just like, it's not a coincidence that it's happening now. It's like the work's being done and I'm starting to feel the benefits of it. But going back to the drumming, it was like when I became sober, I realized that I was cheating myself. And then when I basically started putting drums first and saying like, I have never put music first in my life. This is what I want, but I did everything else but that. I would do all the partying, all the cool stuff that everyone would see me on my Facebook and all this crap or whatever, you know, but I wasn't sitting behind the drum kit putting in the work. And now I play drums 4 to 6 days a week. And I have this little practice pad right here that's right by my office that I sit on. And then when I take my breaks, I play drums. I have a metronome and I put the work in on my hands. And I don't know, Scott, do you have that notebook that I sent you or whatever last time? But it's like, I now keep a journal of every practice I have, right? So if I'm going to practice drums, I essentially, can you guys see this? You guys can't see that. Anyway, long story short, I keep track of everything. You can see it?
Yeah.
You guys can see that? Well, I keep track of everything. So like where I started in March on my BPMs, which are beats per minute, very similar to what J.R. Ross was saying, you know, it's like I'll start off in February. I was starting off and my hands were okay. I could do the job. I could get the job done. But now, then I was like at 179 beats per minute with my left hand. Now I'm at 203 and I'm like, it's cruising and I'm cruising and it's not even hard. And it's like what it was, the difference between where I was even in December to January to February to now is the amount of work I've put in to get myself to where I am today. So like, I would say I'm in a band, I do all this stuff, but now it's like, I'm a drummer, I'm a musician, and I'm pushing myself. And the amount of work that it takes to get to where I am now, I really wish, like Jay Ross was saying, like, I wish I could say I was doing this many years ago, but it's only been 3 years. So I'm basically like this new person of putting in the real work, you know?
Well, let's show them what it looks like, Nick. I've got a video queued up for you.
All right.
So everyone, this is Nick Harris performing some drums for us. And if you're not familiar with the way drums sound, they're loud and they're crashy. So make sure you've got your headphones and your finger on the volume here. We're going to we'll probably let this play for about 2.5 minutes. So here's Nick Harris in his practice space, showing you what 20 years of drum practice sounds like. Let's see if I can get the screen share dialed in the right way this time. All right. Nod your head once you see it pop up, everyone. You see Nick Harris on the drums? All right. Here's Nick Harris for us, everybody.
Hey everybody, what's up? I'm Nick Harris. This is my happy place. I do have broken cymbals, but I hit drums hard. Here we go.
Wow, Nick. What do you say, everybody? Let's give him a little bit of this, huh? I never know how it's going to go over, just like letting someone play drums for a couple of minutes straight. And my cheeks hurt from smiling because I can see you enjoying yourself while you're like crushing up. Dude, Alex said it best. Absolute legend. The chat just blew
sweating
up
from
over
watching
here.
that.
So let's get some responses from our crew out here. Unmute yourself or raise your hand if you feel like jumping in and telling us your reactions or what your thoughts are from watching Nick do his thing.
I'm ready to go to a show.
Let's go. Come hang out.
Yeah, I'm ready. I need me some live music. That was amazing. It gave me chills. And you can tell that you have been working hard. You know, that's not just picking up the drum set and banging on it. That's skill. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind words. I appreciate that very much.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that, Serenity, because the type of show that Nick performs and the type of show that J. Ross performs are pretty far on the spectrum as far as like whom you would see at the show and that type of thing. The shape of the sound. I don't know if any of you have ever been in a mosh pit, but they're pretty fun when Nick is playing those drums. So, J. Ross, has there ever been a mosh pit at one of your shows?
Hell yeah. I toured on the band's Warped Tour with all the heavy metal bands, so it's a different story. But yeah, Nick, you are ridiculous, dude.
Thanks.
You know, I have something else pulled up for you here that I wasn't really sure if I was going to show or not. But one of the reasons I want to show it is because when we were designing all of these sessions, Shelly asked us, "Hey, can we get like some rock and roll in there as well?" Because we've had a lot of rappers and lyricists. And I said, you know, Shelly, I don't think the type of music that Nick and I listen to or play is really something that a lot of people like, because there's a fair amount of screaming in it. But I'm going to play it anyways because this is one of my favorite songs. So, hey, everybody, this is what heavy metal sounds like if you're not familiar with it. So hopefully we can wake the neighbors. All right, we seeing this right here? Here is a commercial. Oh. All right, here's a little bit of Nick and his band, Armed for Apocalypse. I'll get right to the good stuff. All right, I'm not going to blow your speakers, Shelly. So obviously that's a little bit different soundscape than what most people are used to listening to. And I like that live shot right there because you can see Nick just sweating head to toe, drenched, giving everything that he's got to his music. So there's a little bit of Nick Harris, everybody. How about we get a little bit of this right here? I love it. Riley's over there. Heavy metal's the best. And I'm like, yes, it is. All right, so that's the neat thing, though, about connection, about music, and about art, is that regardless of the style that is most popular for you or that you enjoy the most, we can take things that have come from entirely different spectrums and get them to working together. So today, J. Ross and Nick worked together for their first time to put something together just for us. Before I play it, J. Ross, can you tell me what it was like working with a heavy metal like drummer legend like Nick?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love working with drummers. If I could choose any instrument to work with, it would definitely be a drummer. And the fact that Nick knows rhythm and harmony and melodies, so he was like, we've been sending drum beats back and forth to each other, and the first one he sent, it was like this cute little country poppy song, and I'm like, oh, that's cute. I thought you did heavy metal. So then I said, hey man, can I get some of that boom bap? And he was like, what is boom bap? And I was like, this is fun. So eventually he sent me a couple tracks, and I picked one of his really dope boom bap. You figured out boom bap really quick, Nick. That was like, yeah, real quick. So Mr. Harris got the boom bap down. He sent me the track. I liked it. I sent him a little melody. He picked up his guitar. He played the melody over that, and then sent me the video. And I wanted him to be in the video, so we all did, and we played him in the background. So you can, so it's Nick and I, but it's like super COVID 2020 collaboration.
Well, then Nick, why don't you before I tee this video up, what was it like working with an incredible lyricist and just vocal powerhouse like J. Ross?
You know, I all honestly, I was super intimidated and like nervous, like, oh, dude, like I can't keep up with this, dude. Like, I don't know what's cracking. Like, cause Scott sent me her stuff, and I'm like, dude, I didn't know what to do or think. And then when we started communicating, actually, I realized it was going to be fairly easy because she's a good communicator, which is also super handy in like working with people, especially in this whole COVID situation. But it was like, hey, try this instead. Cool, did it. And then it was like, well, hey, what about this? It's like, cool, great. And it was just like we were texting back and forth. And then she sent me, I was like, hey, just like rap over that drum beat a little bit. Just give me an idea of like what you're thinking. Cause like I literally just sent her this dry drum beat with like nothing to it. And she like made magic, and I just copied her magic. I literally just had to figure out her melody. I was like, oh, dope. And I don't know, it was actually quite, I don't know, you made it easy. Like as Scott would say, like you teed it up for me just to be like, oh, okay, that's what's up. You did it all, and I just copied you. Thank you.
Now we're just going to watch these two like compliment each other back and forth for the next couple of minutes. So let's just get straight to this video right here, okay? Riley, you ready for this one? All right. Let's make sure that my screen share is on point for this one. All right, everybody. Here is, for the first time, J. Ross and Nick Harris giving you their collaboration. Not if you can see the video. Yes, here it is.
What's up, y'all? It's J. Ross Pirelli, Nick Harris collaboration right here. This is Nick on the drums, and then grabbing the guitar and getting down for a little bit. And I'm gonna add you some little freestyles, just a little fun for y'all. Cause this is what we do. We take music and we learn to connect with it, and we rock with it, and we vibe with it, and we ride with it. See, let me catch it. When I pick up, you never find the essence unless it's something more than impressing. I'm over here like kings and queens now, need a lesson. Let's sit them back and take another truth. This ain't about me, it's all about the youth. See, the leaders of the new revolution in the sports. That's how I get it, we ain't living for schools or fools. I'm over here like freestyles, man, you choose. You really don't believe me, watch how I groove. I got a mouse and I got more mountains to move. And if you really want to hit it, watch the stones that we use. It's all that the essence and the breath that we use. Man, I ain't trying to sit and abuse any more life lessons that I have to lose. And gold is shiny and it feels so right, but an alchemist can change it right in the night. So if you know what you're doing and it feel it right, you can add another hey, man. See, I'm flipping up the words. I'm over here like rose water on your squirts. I squirt a few squirts, cleanse your body, man. This was the earth, first from descendants. How would I be? A little bit of love and passion to see. All about perspective, all what you believe. I'm over here like, man, can you really feel me breathe? Middle of the night, we keep on running. My 3-year-old son thinks that he's something else. Maybe little superhero too. I don't know if it's Ant-Man, I really don't know, dude. Maybe it was Bossman too. It was a superhero, that's all I really knew. And he thinks that he has superhuman powers too. So I believe that he really, really do. Then I take it again. I got the amethyst so that I cleanse my skin. And if you're feeling fine, I got so much highlighter on my mind. Man, see a little about the glamour, but ain't about the glitz. I'm over here forever. And I don't really need no camera. I can spit off the top, this is on my hammer. MC, but you can't touch this. If you take it back, man, it's all that I miss. All those 80s, sweet divine. I'm over here like, baby, get a sweet on mine. I'm not sure what I said, but I got a cap of water in my head. And this purple does shine. See, purple is the color of a healer, leave them blind. But not colors, we see those two represent everybody. This is just the truth. See, I'm here for never ending. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't know what to say next. So thanks for vibing with us though. Just a little freestyle, cleanse the mind, see what's going on, just release. Have a good time, y'all.
Yeah, J. Ross, Nick Harris. Right as the video was ending, Nick Harris was getting into it in the background. Letting those dreads go.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think we should let that breathe for a second.
Oh my gosh, what a funny freestyle to watch. I think that's why they call them freestyles, because you just kind of let them go and you don't have to watch them again, but that was fun.
She says y'all rocked it. Renee, love, love, love. Diego had a gasp. Is there any part of that that jumped out to you, like participants? Let's hear from you all out there.
Go ahead. Hi, I'm Caitlin. I just loved your exuberance of like light and happiness throughout, and that comes from confidence within yourself and humility, which is great. You weren't embarrassed, when you had to take a second. That was so cool, and it's really awesome to see, especially women, holding their power and sharing it with everyone. So that was fantastic. You too, Nick. You were awesome. You just really rocked it. You guys are great. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah. Was there any one line that kind of sat you up, anybody, and was like, ooh, that was really clever? Serenity says all of it got her.
I resonated with all the crystal talk. you were swinging. Yeah, just everything was just really great. It was really great. All the positive light that you were talking about. And your son. I love your perspective on your son. We can gain a lot through our children, and just to be childlike again, It's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Serenity.
Bye, everyone. Have a good evening.
Bye, Riley. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye, Riley.
One of the things you mentioned, J. Ross, is that the process of freestyling cleanses your mind, and you also mentioned cleansing your body in there. You want to give us a couple of seconds on your thoughts about just cleansing, getting it out there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially right now with what's going on in the world, our strongest power, and I tell my son, like, if you want superhuman powers, you have to eat superhuman food. You have to do superhuman things. You have to, again, it is training, but it's also cleaning and cleansing your body and knowing what feels good inside yourself, whether that's your heart or your physical body. I was 200 pounds all my life. I was a big, thick girl, and I love being thick. There's nothing wrong with being thick. So don't misinterpret that. But I ended up losing 65 pounds. And in losing that weight, it was establishing how I feel. What I put in my body matters, and it really fuels me. So for my son, I tell him all the time, I say, oh, you want to see in the dark, you got to eat carrots. Oh, you want to jump higher, you have to eat your green beans, unfortunately. Yeah, Serenity. So it's like, I have to look up what these vegetables and fruits do to our body so that I know how to properly, if he wants to learn how to, my son told me at 2 years old, he was going to fly, and actually almost attempted to jump out our window. And I had to take him back and say, okay, let's train. And I ended up bringing him to parkour and teaching him how to fall and teaching him how to jump and teaching him how to get back up. And the most was teaching him how to get back up. So cleansing our bodies, just feeling it all.
Jay Ross, we're gonna let your internet connection catch up here for a second. It was too much awesomeness coming over the airwaves for it.
My bad.
Well, I think that the most impressive part about that is that you continue to use what was around you. You know, not just the support that Nick gave you and the foundation he laid, but I mean, the purple cap was. I was like, what is she gonna pick up next? So let's hear from some of the people that have been really interactive in the past. Gianna and her sister Sienna have been wonderful. So I'm going to kick it to you, sisters, and see if there's anything that spoke to you about that performance from J. Ross and Nick.
I thought it was like really great. It was like really inspirational.
Hey, I'll say something real quick.
All right, Alex, why don't you go? Gianna, we'll have you go here in a second. Go for it, Alex.
Okay, I was just gonna say respect to both you guys, and just thanks for sharing your talents with us, and hope you guys have a good day.
Thank you. Where'd he go? He's in one of these screens. All right, back to you, Sienna.
I thought like the performances were like really inspirational, and I really want to be like a singer, and I want to do things like you guys want to do. It really like brings me up, and I'm like, it's inspiring.
Yes, yes. Tell me what you like to sing. Tell me what you do. Where do you sing? Do you sing?
I sing like, I don't like sing like, I don't like write songs or anything. I just actually sing like whatever comes to the top of my head, and somehow just like I rhyme with it. I've been singing ever since I was like 7. But like sometimes I sing like songs like from other people. I don't like make my own songs. I just sing whatever comes to my head.
Which is good. That's what you should be doing. Practicing because you want to be a singer, so you have to sing every day. Doesn't mean you have to write your own lyrics every day. It means you have to sing every day. So I love that you're doing that. I would recommend one thing. If you have access to YouTube, go on YouTube, write your favorite singer, and then type beats. So you would write Ariana Grande type beats. And that would give you a whole list of on YouTube of different types of beats that you could turn on one of those beats and just start practicing and singing. Even if it's somebody else's lyrics, you can start singing over your own song. So maybe try that a little bit.
I will.
You heard it first here. Sienna will soon be performing it for us all.
And share it with us. We want to know.
Let's see. And you know what? As you two are talking over there, J. Ross, Gianna says she's got a really good singing voice. She's heard her. Now it's up to us to connect with her and support you. Sienna, we want to hear you do your thing. Maybe not right now, but if you're ready, I mean, we've never had that happen before. Keep thinking about what you would do, okay, homie? Because we'll leave some space for you at the end if you'd like. All right, let's see. Nick, you were in the background there. Like part of what your role is to do is to build a foundation for others to layer on top of. Do you want to talk about that responsibility and how you shoulder that?
Yeah, as a drummer, I don't know how much of you guys know about the recording process, but every song you hear like on the radio or something like that, it starts with the drums, and then they put the bass on top, and then they put the guitars on top, or the keyboards or whatever that is, or the DJs or whatever, and then like the vocals come last, right? So what I practice to on a daily is a metronome. And what that does is it allows me to stay really, really tight on the beat. So can you guys hear that? You hear this? Okay, that is my life, right? So like, the way Jay Ross and I did our thing was I put my metronome at 185 beats per minute. So, and I played that, right? So I played my beats over that metronome that kept us tight. But ultimately what that is that's laying the groundwork, as Scott was saying, and the foundation for the song to get built on. And like any foundation of any building you've ever been in life, all of it, like your structure is only as strong as your foundation is, right? So, and I mean that goes with living your life, right? If you like my foundation of life, my core beliefs are very strong, and I don't deviate too far off of it, because once I do, that's when my house and my life starts shaking. You know, like right before when I drank, I had, you know, when I drink and I smoke pot, like I didn't have that. So I could sway it in this direction or that direction really easily. But now it's like I wake up, I pray, I meditate, I write in my journal, and like that's the foundation of the day. That's the, you know, and then like it's like actually same as Jay Ross. Like the first thing I do in the morning is it's fitness. It's what Scott and I call our morning mindfulness, but we FULL, because we got to fill up our cups and then pour it out in situations like this, right? But ultimately, as a drummer, I am the foundation, and my band is only as good as me. So if I'm not as tight as possible and like on it as much as possible and owning it live and owning it in every practice, we're not going to be a good band. And same thing for Jay Ross. It's like, honestly, like your band's only as good as your singer is, and your band's only as good as your drummer is. So you can get by with some decent guitaring and stuff. And no offense to guitar players, that I am one, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? So foundation is, it's such an important part of all of us and everything that we do. And
I'll throw you a bone on this one, Nick. What we had talked about is how drums are like the earlier decisions in life. And most of the folks that we were hoping to connect with today, you're like 12, 13, 14. You're in those teenage years where the decisions you make right now are making such an important foundation towards building on. And I'm glad that you shouted out that the first thing that the three of us high performers, Jay Ross, Nick, myself, we wake up and we exercise first thing in the day so that our body is right for whatever the tasks of the rest of the day are. Are there any of our younger crew that does the same thing? Not Diego? Not Diego, do you wake up and exercise? What do you do first thing in the morning? Not Diego. Not answering. Maybe typing? You could be typing. I'll kick the same thing to my homies Gianna, Kevin, Shelly. What does your morning routine look like? How many of you exercise first thing in the morning to get it out of the way? You can either put it in the chat, or you can go ahead and mention it over here. Not Diego says, not me. He's not an early morning exerciser.
Hey, Scott.
Yep.
Can I chime in on something real quick here?
Go for it. Gianna, the question was, what do you do first thing in the morning to kick the foundation of your day off? Go ahead, Nick.
One way I used to look at fitness was, what's going to be harder than that in the day? So like whenever I would finish, like this morning I went on this run, like it's like 4.5 mile long run in the forest. And after that, it's literally all downhill from that. There's nothing going to be harder than getting up when the sun's barely up, getting it over with. And, you know, I'm reluctant to say get it over with, because it's like you get a chance to like knock it out first. And literally from there on, the rest of the day, it's smooth sailing, because nothing's going to get harder than running 4 miles or doing 100 push-ups or whatever you're doing that day. Nothing's going to get harder. It's all going to get easier.
All right, Nick, thanks for kicking us up with that. I'm looking down at our time right here as well, and that's the boy. I'm fascinated with how quickly this hour went by. Like faster than some of the other connections we've done. It's around this time that I say, "Hey, everyone! Thank you so much for being here." This is like the segue into the after show. A reminder that next week we have Shani Joe from the Non-Toxic Revolution is going to be on here talking about how she sets her foundation for success and all these amazing things that this woman has done all over the world. J. Ross and Nick, I wanted to make sure that we told everyone about your personal professional pages. If you all haven't seen J. Ross's YouTube, she's got some incredible content up there that really explores the depth of her talent. So I'm going to go ahead and put a link in the chat to J. Ross's YouTube. And J. Ross, anything else you want us to check out, go ahead and put it there. I'll do the same for Nick Harris. His music's up on Spotify under Armed for Apocalypse as well. You can find it anywhere else. Shelly, is there anything else you'd like to add before I close this? Thank you, Nadia.
Yeah, I just want to say, you guys, this was awesome. I loved everything about it. I was really curious how the collaboration was going to go because the two music styles. So I was super excited to see, and you guys did not disappoint. It was so cool, and I feel so moved by the message that you both shared. Not only just sharing your talents, but your passion. I mean, it was about digging deep. It was about trying hard. It was about recognizing your greatness. It was about overcoming, and it was about so many good things that I'm going to take with me. Yeah, after being here today. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we're getting some folks on the side over here saying that their hour is up, that they get to move on to the next little bit of awesomeness. If you're moving on, then we'll see you again next Wednesday to wrap up our Digital Connection series. I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to stop the recording. So